So in this video, we're going to look at some basic input using cin. We've already talked about cout to send output to the console, but what about getting input from the user? So for example, we have a circle calculator program. It says enter a radius and we'll compute the diameter, the circumference, and the area. So let's say I want a radius of 5, and now it's telling me units. I'll say inches. And here are the results. A radius of 5 inches gives you a diameter of 10 inches, and so on and so forth. Notice the way I've constructed the output with the number and the units, 5 inches. Okay, so let's take a look at the code. This is pretty straightforward. I've started with some double variables to hold the numbers for all the circle calculations, and then I also have a string to accept the units, inches, meters, or whatever. I have a double for pi, and we talked about locking down that number. This is a number that we would not want to change, so I used the const qualifier on that, so we cannot change the value in pi. Okay, so here is our prompt for the user, enter a radius, and that's just a basic cout, and then we follow up with cin. So I told you in a past video that cout is an output stream. You can imagine a pipe with data flowing through it, and the end of that pipe is to the console where the output is displayed. Cin is also like a pipe with data flowing through it, but the data flows from the keyboard, if you can imagine that, to the variable. So in this case, we are directing that input into the radius variable using cin. This is called the extraction operator. Recall that cout uses the insertion operator. This is the extraction operator with cin. One thing I notice students will often, beginners will often get their arrows in the wrong direction. So if you can imagine, here's a snappy little saying for you to always remember to get the right direction here. I'm not left out, I fit right in. Okay, left pointing arrows go to cout, right pointing arrows go to cin. So I'm not left out, I fit right in. So that way you can always remember. Okay, so then we're getting the units, and that's going into the string variable. Okay, and yeah, then we're home free. We have our input, we have what we need, we can do the calculations. The only thing interesting here with the calculations is I'm using the pow function for the area. Area would be pi times the radius squared, pi r squared. I could have done something like this to square the radius, but I thought I would use the pow function. The pow function will allow us to raise a base to an exponent. In this case, the base is the radius, which I'm raising to a power of 2. So that's another way of doing it. And then I'm constructing the output with our usual cascading the insertion operator with the numbers and the units. Inches was what I typed in the first run. Okay, so that's it. We'll look at a variation on this in the next video.